Hello YouTubers, Alaska Prepper here. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you've had a great weekend, and this video probably won't go out till first thing Monday morning. So before I begin, please make sure that you catch my news video today because there's going to be a giveaway, okay? And I'll explain everything to you then. It has nothing to do with SIMPURE. That giveaway is done. I have to choose the winners from the comments of the entry video. And I'm very happy to say that we have, I believe it's 7 reverse osmosis systems that I'll be giving away because of that video and because of your participation. So thank you very much to all of you that engaged in that. But I wanted to talk about something, and this is not scripted. It's just, I was sitting here tonight, and it's probably close to 11 p.m. Sunday night. I'm sitting here and I'm thinking to myself, man, we are doomed. And what I mean by that is, as a civilization, I believe that we are doomed. And I start looking back at some of the old articles and some of the old videos that I've seen, and, some of the experiences that we're having now and have had in the past. And one of the first things that I think about is, you know how they come up and they say that, hey, there's been civilizations prior to us. And each civilization that they discover, I think they've discovered the oldest civilization was like 30,000 years ago or something like that, or maybe longer. But it seems that it goes like in intervals of like 6,000, 7,000 years, something like that. And I'm thinking to myself, what's the last civilization that we know about? The last one besides this one here that we're living in now. It was probably about close to, if not just a little over than 6,000 years ago. And it seems that every so many thousands of years, there seems to be some kind of an event where most of humanity is wiped out. And I'm thinking, are we getting close to that time now? And I'm led to believe that we are. And this is the reason why. And this is just me thinking out loud. But I thought I'd share it with you. Because what's the best form of therapy if not talking about it with people that you really care about? And I do really care about you all, the Alaska Prepper audience, and everyone. Not just the AP audience, but everyone as a whole. I'm a people person. I care about people. I was thinking the other day, what's my purpose? What's been my purpose? And I believe that my purpose is to serve. And, some people may disagree with me, but I believe that that's been my purpose throughout my life, is to serve. But anyways, and it will continue to be my purpose. I mean, what else is there for me to do in this life but to serve? I feel that we are given a chance as humanity, and we are given time to prove ourselves and to see what we can do with that time. And what have we done with our time? And I'm talking here as a civilization, really. You can knock it all the way down to the personal level. But that's not what I'm talking about. But what have we done with our time? What have we, as humanity, what have we chosen to do with the advances in technology that we discover, that we invent, that we make, produce, etc.? It seems to me that every time that a big advancement comes forth, we have powers that want to use those things in order to enrich themselves or make themselves more powerful, either through the proxy enslavement of humanity. And the reason I say proxy enslavement of humanity is because it is the enslavement of humanity, but it's done in a way where humanity doesn't necessarily see themselves as being enslaved. Or through the grasp of power, through the grasp of ensuring that you build something that would keep a very few in control of the very many. And those that grasp onto that power, they don't care how they keep it. They don't care if they starve you. They don't care if they start wars around the world. They don't care how many cities burn down. They don't care how many innocent lives are lost. And they don't care how much suffering occurs anywhere just to hold on to that power. So what I'm getting at is, I believe that we, as this civilization, we have been given an opportunity. We have been given a chance to see what we could do. And I think we've foiled it. I think we've ruined that chance. And I think that the best that we can do now is pray and hope that people will wake up to the fact that all we have is each other, and that we have to count on each other, and that we have to take care of each other, and that we have to stop fighting with each other, and that we have to realize that we are not each other's enemies, that we all want the same thing. Every human on earth wants the same thing, except for the wicked. We want to be able to work, to be a productive member of society. We want to be able to contribute to our families. We want to be able to have a meal without having to beg for it. We want to be able to live somewhere that's justified, that doesn't have to be under a bridge somewhere. We want to be able to have a fair exchange of our labor. We want not, in my opinion, to keep innovation at bay. We want to allow people to be free to innovate. We want to allow people to be free to prosper from their labor, from their hard work. We all want this. It's pretty much what I would say is called freedom. We all thirst freedom, but we live in a time and place where freedom is just a mirage. It's something that you look at and say, yeah, I'm free. But the freedom that we experience today is a freedom that comes at a cost of your liberty. You want to be free to buy a house? You're fine. You're free to buy a house. But you're going to have to pay on that house for X number of years, give up of your labor for X number of years. And then once you're done paying for that house, you're going to pay the state for the rest of your life something called taxes. You want to buy that car? Go ahead, you can buy that car. And even after you pay for that car in full, in some states, there's a property tax on vehicles, even on bicycles. But even then, you cannot drive that vehicle freely unless you pay for insurance. And who has the power to make you pay for insurance? The state has the power to make you pay for it. And not only that, the price of insurance just keeps going up. So when you look at it, are we really, really free? And I just think that maybe the 6,000 year mark has come, and that maybe it won't be long until a new civilization is put in place by getting rid of the old civilization. Well, everyone has their opinion, but I believe that the good Lord above is watching down, and he's looking and crying and saying, what have you done? What have you done with this gift that I've given you? You had it all, but instead you threw it away. And now we have to start over because there's no fixing you. It's like a piece of cancer that has to be ripped out of your body before it completely consumes your body. And power is the most corrupting thing that I can see in the world. You give someone power, they will use it for good at first, but eventually that power creeps in little by little by little. The need for that power, the want for more power, and it comes at the cost of those same people that you swore that you would take care of with that power that you were granted. I really don't know what to think. You know, when I look around at what I have food put away. Check. I have water put away. And I have enough water to last a little bit, and then I have a water filtration system that I can get water from anywhere and make it potable. Check. I have a generator for backup, for electricity. Check. I have some over-the-counter medications and an extended period of medications in case I can't get it. Check. I have all of these preps. I have ways to make fire. I have ways to stay warm. I have ways to keep my lights running. I have some extra gas in order to be able to get from A to B should the gas pumps run out. I have all that stuff. But what good is all that stuff going to do if it's only going to keep you in a world that's wicked? In a world where your brothers and sisters can't get along, can't see eye to eye, can't agree on anything, are always fighting because we have fallen for the propaganda and divisiveness that has been put upon us by government, really, by government and wicked billionaires that want to control the world. I should probably say wicked trillionaires that want to control the world, and they don't care what happens to you and me. So I have no idea where this video is going. I just thought that I'd share some of my thoughts with you, because if you think that preparedness is all about having things, then dig a little deeper. Dig a little bit deeper, because it's not about things. I believe that the things that we have, the things that we accumulate as people that are preparedness minded, are things that allow us to stay in this world and accomplish that which we were put here to accomplish. But the time that you spend here, how is that time going to be spent? What are you going to do so that one day when you are on your deathbed, that you're not scared? I still believe that we need to be prepared. We need to have all of those things that I mentioned. And you need to have a plan to survive, because I think it is our duty to survive as long as we possibly can, because we were put here for a reason. And because of that, we have to stay here as long as we possibly can and do what we can do. And I know that there are different priorities to different people. But I would say that if we can at least come together and acknowledge that only because we have different opinions from each other, that we are not each other's enemy, that there is only but one enemy, just one. And we all have to acknowledge who that one enemy is. The power of us uniting together and being one people is so strong that it's why they've spent the last 100+ years programming us through the TV, propagandizing us through the media. We need to stop fighting with each other and realize that this life on this earth is finite. But what we do here and where we go next is not. It's for everlasting. So why are we spending our times in this life, in this small speck of time that we've been given, fighting with each other only because we disagree? And in my opinion, disagreeing is a beautiful thing, because it allows you the opportunity to converse, to talk. You should be able to allow someone to convince you to how they feel, and they should be able to allow you to convince them on how you feel. And that's how we come together. Because Charlie Kirk, right? May he rest in peace. One of the things that he often said, and I agree with this 100%, is that when you stop talking, it's over. Once we stop talking, it's over. Trust me, I know. And I guess I don't really know what else to say. I just want to tell you all that I love you guys. And I hope that I'm 100% wrong. I hope that it's not the end of this civilization, because I believe that we still have a lot of good to do. I guess in a way it's scary. It's not really scary because, like I said, this is just a physical world. But when you think about having children and you have grandchildren and you know that they'll be here, far after you're gone, you always want for the world to be better off when you leave than when you came into it. So that your children, so that your grandchildren, you can at least leave thinking that, hey, they're going to have a good life. But with all of the stuff that's going on now, and what's really got me worried in a way, is that the people that are manipulating and creating and advancing this artificial intelligence that's going around, I think that most of those people are not good people. And they don't have the best interest of humanity in mind. I think they're going to use that power to have more power upon us than what they already do. And trust me, they have a lot of power upon us. I think about all this stuff. Government shutdown. Government shutdowns, I'll tell you right now, they're just going to continue to get faster and faster and faster. There's going to be more continuing resolutions, and they're going to go faster and faster and faster. Right? Unless they do a bill or pass a law where they suspend the debt ceiling. And that in itself, the debt ceiling in itself is something that is used to enslave us. The higher that debt goes, the more enslaved that we are, at least here in the United States. Because that debt comes at a price, and that price is called interest. And that interest has to be paid to those bankers that own the Federal Reserve. And we can get into the Federal Reserve and talk about that for an hour. I just had a great conversation with Victor last night about FDR and how everyone thinks he was a great president, but they never really look at exactly what happened. So we had a great conversation. And after our conversation was over, I said, do you understand everything that I told you and explained to you? Do you understand it? And he said, yeah, I do. And I said, and does it make sense why FDR was not the great president that everyone says he was? And I'll let you research that on your own. Discover why he wasn't as great a president as everyone says that he was. Discover why it is that Woodrow Wilson, on his deathbed, he said something like, I'll paraphrase it, something like, one of my biggest regrets or something like that is that I betrayed the American people and put their fate in the hand of bankers or something like that, right? But pretty much saying that he betrayed the American people and gave our future to the banks, to privately held banks, gave them the ability to govern over us. And ever since 1913, after the passage of the Federal Reserve Act, look at how many wars we've had. Look at how many people have passed away because of wars. Look at how much poverty has gotten worse. And it's all because of power. I don't even know if I'll put this video up. I just needed to talk to someone. And even though Victor is still awake, I'm not going to go bother him at this hour of the night. And I definitely don't want to wake up Michael. All right, because if he wakes up, he'll be like a little top just spinning from back and forth everywhere and asking for a snack. And it'll be hours before he goes to sleep. And I'll tell you what, Michael is a joy. He is such a joy. He's so much fun, I'll tell you. And I do this little thing with him that I used to do with Victor when he was a little baby, just like him. I won't tell you what it is because it's just between us. But I'll do this. And the other day, And Victor didn't know that I was doing that with him, right? It's just something that's really cute, you know? And I'll tell you what it is, all right? So when Victor was, a little toddler and stuff, I have no idea how I came up with it. I think it was maybe from watching the movie Unusual Suspects, but I don't remember exactly. But I would get close to his ear and I would go Sasa. I don't know what that has no meaning. All right, the word Sasa has no meaning to me. All I know is that whenever I did it, it used to like tickle him. Just saying the word Sasa next to his ear used to tickle him. So Victor came down the other day and he says something like, "Are you the one that taught Michael how to say Sasa?" And I say, "Yeah, I say it to him all the time. I get next to his ear and I go Sasa, and then I give him a kiss. So now Michael, when he wants a kiss, he goes Sasa and a kiss." So he'll come up to me and say Sasa and a kiss. So he went up to his dad and said Sasa and a kiss, and he's like, "What?" And he told his wife, he said, his wife asked, and he said, "Yeah, my dad used to tell me that when I was a little kid." So he came and asked me, he's like, do you do the Sasa with Michael?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I do that with him all the time. He always asks me for a Sasa and a kiss before he goes, before he goes up. Because he's always running up and down, coming and visiting, asking for a snack, wanting to watch cartoons. He'll try to play the yin and yang game with me and his parents. He'll come down and be like, "Can I have a snack?" And I'm like, "How many snacks have you had today?" Because he's allowed to have 3 snacks a day, and they're really good snacks, very healthy, organic, but still, it's a snack. It's not, a meal. So he's allowed to have 3 a day. So I have a box of snacks for him here that he can grab whenever he wants, but he always asks me. But sometimes I'll hear him like crying upstairs, like throwing a fit, and then he'll come down the stairs and he'll come in my apartment and he'll be like, "Snack?" And I'm like, "You want a snack?" And he's like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "Did you ask your dad for a snack?" And he said no, because that's why I figured I heard him throwing a fit. And he's like, "Snack, please?" And I'm like, "Just a second. Let me call your father." So I'll call my son and I'm like, "Hey, is it all right for Michael to have a snack?" He's like, "No, he just had one and he's not going to have another one until after he eats." And I'm like, "I'm sorry, Michael, man, but you can't have a snack." And then he'll start throwing a fit on the floor. And I'm like, "Okay, go ahead and throw your fit, but you're not having another snack. Your dad said no." But yeah, he's a joy. He's so much fun. I'm so blessed that I live in such close proximity. So blessed. So I'm very grateful for that. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to make this video super, super long. And but I appreciate you all. And I just needed someone to talk to. Someone to... I don't know. How do you feel? Do you think that we are coming towards the end of this civilization? Do you think that maybe the powers that be know that? Do you think that they know that something may be coming that's going to alter everything about the way we live today? And are you ready? Not only are you ready as far as being prepared for the physical world, but are you ready, if you know what I mean? Right. Having said that, I do want to thank you. I really hope that we can do a live stream soon. Right? And don't forget, catch my news video, all right, tomorrow morning on Monday. Well, this video will probably be put up Monday morning, but catch my news video today on Monday. I'll say today, even though it's still Sunday night, because I'm going to be doing giveaways at least once a week, and they're going to be very nice giveaways, and you'll see what I mean. All right, I've found a way to be able to give back to the community this year. God bless every one of you. I love every one of you. Thank you very much for being part of this really awesome community. And I want to say, God bless America. All right. God bless everyone. All right. I'm Alaska Prepper. I'm out.